I want to do a quick review of this phone. I'm not going to go real deep into it because it's not worth it. It's really a piece of junk. This thing is a OUKITEL or something like this, and it's a piece of crap, guys. Uh, let's just go down the list of the problems. Let's start off with the basics. The basics: it has no native home button. So if you want to close a bunch of apps and just go straight to your home screen, it doesn't exist. Yes, you heard me correctly. It doesn't have a native gallery app. If you want to use the gallery, you need to use Google or you need to download a gallery app. It has no native uh, system to see what apps are active. I mean, it has it, but it's like so complicated. You have to like sort of swipe up on the app, not too far, or it'll just go to the back screen, the background again, and then once it's there, you can scroll across and see what apps are running, what apps are not. But it's so complicated to do that it makes it kind of problematic. There's no back button. So when you're on the screen and you're trying to go back, or forth or whatever else, there's no back button on the screen. Doesn't exist. There is no methodology whatsoever to take screenshots. Like, normally you press the power and like the volume down button. That doesn't exist on here. Actually, they have some sort of system with 3 fingers, and when you do it, it changes the screen like if you're trying to take a screenshot. Very complicated, very problematic. Not only that, this thing here, this is a fingerprint reader. 90% of the time it doesn't work. Sometimes it works, other times it doesn't. If you want it to work, you have to restart the phone. It'll work one time, 2 times, and then it'll stop working again. Charging. This battery in this thing is an absolute champ. I'll give them that. That's one thing they got well, is that the battery is an absolute champ. But this charging port, let me try and get this stupid thing open. Now, I don't know if you can see how this is inside of here, but see how it's like it's not centered? Yeah, try and plug a cable into here. It's a good thing that this battery is a champ, because if it wasn't, you'd run out of power. Because it's so hard to get a charging thing in here. So what you have to do is you have to find a USB-C cable with the extra long metal, so you can stick it in there so that it's above this piece of plastic here. Because if you just get one of those, USB-C cables that like is just the regular length metal, it'll just pop out every time. You plug it in, it'll pop right back out, because this piece right here pushes it out. And it's, like I said, as you can see, it's not centered inside there. And so a charging port, a charging cable can't fit in there properly. This phone is crappy. I've initiated return on Amazon. It's going back. It's just really problematic. Another issue is that it randomly dismounts your memory card. So it takes a memory card inside here. That's 256 memory internal, which is awesome. And then it takes an additional 256 micro SD. Completely amazing. It's wonderful. It's great. It's a lot of memory. I take a lot of photos. I'll end up with like 8,000 photos on my phone. So that for me is excellent. It's the most memory that I've had on a phone that I can recall owning personally. But if it keeps dismounting the card and then you get the message that your phone is full, from one moment to the next, what good is it? This phone is problematic in more ways than one. And I get the impression it's a beta tester phone, like they're testing it out on the public as opposed to it actually being a viable, functioning product. Guys, stay away from this thing. And you might ask, why did I buy this thing? When you look at this thing, let me show you. It is massive. So let's take this phone. I'll explain why I bought it. Look at the size of that thing. It's bigger than 2 phones. If I put another phone here, it's still bigger than that. I bought it because it's armored. And as you guys know, I got a Suron. And as you can see, when I crash my Suron, I crash my phones too, because I go live on TikTok. I go live on YouTube with my rides, just going around Brandenburg, doing trail exploring and whatnot. And so I needed something that when I crashed, it wouldn't crash. This thing is very well armored. I mean, it's very well protected. But if I can't use it because it's not functional, speaking of functionality, videos and pictures. If you edit videos and pictures on this phone, they no longer are able to be posted on social media. It changes the format to some format that social media can't accept, including your WhatsApp statuses. So that was it for me. When I couldn't edit photos and videos, Because I was willing to work with it. I said, you know what, I'll work with all these problems. I'll keep the phone. But when I couldn't edit photos and videos and then upload it to social media and have it function, that's it. What good is this thing for? What is it good for? What can you do with it? Especially given that, you know, I use it for social media and whatnot. You guys stay away from this thing unless you're a glutton for punishment, unless you like torturing yourself. And I'm sure there's more pleasurable ways to do that. I'm not sure because I don't torture myself, but I could probably get creative and think of something if that was my thing. This phone probably isn't it. And even if I did come up with a more creative way to torture yourself, I still wouldn't keep this phone because I wouldn't be able to record it. Stay away from it. OUKITEL.
Who wants to fight?
You guys suck.
Aha.
All right, guys.
I'm only taking the brave. I'm not taking the scary. I'm not taking no girls. Are you ready to fight? Yes, sir. Are you ready to fight? Yes, sir.